But Cecil was overreacting. Episode 7 of Invincible just dropped. You guessed it, Mark is going through more trauma. Let's talk about it. And spoilers if you aren't up to date. No, I knew that Rex was going to die. It was really hard to watch it. In the comic books, I really didn't care about this character at all. So although he had the same valiant death, I would argue it looked a little cooler because you saw Mark's skeleton like melt away. He didn't earn it for me the way that he did here. Rule of thumb whenever you're watching or reading something, when a character makes plans or says something like, my life is good right now, they're gonna die. This was the first episode in a long time that actually had lighting. And I know a lot of people have been complaining about the animation, but I didn't really mind it here. I feel like the entire season, Mark has been learning that Cecil has been right. This is definitely an especially cruel lesson. I will say though, of all these Marks, our Mark is probably the strongest because unlike most of these Marks, our Mark decided to go against the Viltrum Empire. And at this point, he's fought about 4 or 5 Viltrumites near death. They have like a Saiyan anatomy where they get stronger and stronger after every fight. Most of these Marks haven't been challenged the way that our Mark has. You know, one of them said that they killed his father, but even then, it's likely that that was the last big fight he had to do. And even then, we don't know how he killed his father. Of Eve's and Mark's relationship. But I still feel like she's being nerfed. I get that she's not as strong as Mark. The girl is a god. She can change things. Maybe it's the animation limitations. Her fighting with just those blocks don't make sense to me. I was hoping to see more fight scenes like the one that she had in her special. She's like turning their hands into balloons, changing the ground beneath them into sand or quicksand. Just so uninspired. Hope y'all understand how terrifying Mark is. How justified Cecil was by putting these precautions in. Because not only did he have to use it, they low-key didn't work. All of his resources in this building were exhausted to the max. I will say though, they got around 10 Marks out of the game, which is really good. I'm not gonna hold you. Once again, I think it's because they're not as strong as our Mark, but I also think it's because in this world, Cecil is prepared. In every other world where Mark joins his father, just take over the world. In this one, after Nolan defected, they had time and time again to get ready for moments like this. I know everybody's excited about Conquest. I'm not gonna hold you, this character doesn't excite me much. Spoilers from the comic books, but Conquest is 0-2. He does put the beats on Mark, I will say that. And I'm excited for Eve to learn that she's a god. But beyond that, I don't know. I never thought his character was that great. Especially when Thrag is coming out. I can't wait for that man to come. This episode was good. We definitely in for a lot of pain and hurt for Mark. But I felt like this was a great balance. I'm going to go ahead and give it 4 out of 5 Frankie Flames.